Hey treasure hunters, how are you? CJ Rapp here. And we are super excited because we are beginning our journey into treasure hunters as we treasure hunt through the book of Philippians. So today I just want to teach you real quick what this thing called observation means. Because we say that is the first step in Bible study. It is observation. Observation basically is looking to see what it is that the text says. What does it say? Really what we're doing is we're reading. We're reading and we're asking questions of the text. And we don't just read one time. We need to read through the text at least 3 times, because every time we read through the text, our reading comprehension increases. You know, have you ever read a novel or a book and been reading for a while and don't even know what you read? We don't want to do that with the Bible. We want to remember what we read, and we want to retain what we read. So we don't just read it once. We read it 3 times to start with. And again, every time you read through it, you'll find something else new. And we've actually built that into your lessons. So with the first pass, you write down what it is that you see, and then you read it again, and you write down what you saw that might have been new. And with the third pass, you get the picture, right? In observation, the first thing that you want to do is then begin to, after you've read it 3 times, then you can go back and you can start to look for 2 things. The first is in important words, and then the second is repeated words. Important words are often known as keywords. A keyword is simply a word that if you took it out of the text would no longer make sense. They're important because keywords are pivotal in the text. They are what the author really is talking about. And so if you take out this key word, all of a sudden the sentence, the passage of the text, it doesn't make sense anymore. So you want to look for words like that. A good hint at what a keyword might be are repeated words. Repeated words or phrases are something that you want to look for as well. Repeated words and phrases basically tell you the theme. What the author is trying to communicate. And really in observation, that's what we're trying to find out. What is the author's message? What's he trying to say? What's his purpose in writing? That's why we're reading and observing. We want to learn what it is that he's talking about. So if, for example, when I'm reading through Philippians chapter 1, I might notice that the word rejoice or joy or imprisonment is repeated over and over and over. Why? Well, you've got to ask that question. What is happening? Why is he mentioning that word over and over again? What is it the author wants me to learn? What is he trying to say? So look for important words and look for repeated words. The next thing that you want to do is you want to ask what we call the 5 W's and an H question, which is who, what, when, where, why, and how. Anytime that you're reading a book, especially an epistle, a letter, you want to start asking questions right away. For example, who? Who wrote the letter? In Philippians, we know that the letter was written by Paul, but also was dictated by, likely, Timothy. And it's right there in the first several verses of the book. So you want to ask, who wrote it? To whom was it written? Who were they writing to? Why were they writing? What is their message? What are they trying to say? And you just start to bombard what you're reading, that first chapter, just bombard it over and over and over again with who, what, when, where, why, and how. Questions like when are time questions. When was the book written? Where? What are the places that are mentioned in the text? What is the author trying to say? What's he talking about? And how? How did these things happen? How did this happen? How did that happen? Whatever, but it's how. So who, what, when, where, why, and how. Now, you'll need to read the text more than 3 times to find out all the answers to those questions. And by the way, there may not be an answer to the question of where. There may not be an answer to the question of when. That's okay. Ask anyway, because it's in the asking that we begin to see things that maybe we hadn't seen before. Asking questions of the text is a very good thing. And if you don't have all the answers, it's okay. I don't either. And most people don't. You know, we've got to start somewhere. When we first start, we don't know anything about what we're reading. We've got to dig in. We've got to find out. That is the joy of discovery. It's pulling things out. It's looking, it's digging. That's what a treasure hunter does. We look to discover what it is that the text says because we're looking for treasure. Have fun.